how did you find out your friend who claimed to be a wilderness expert was actually the complete opposite? Every friend group has that one guy who won't shut up about his survival skills. For us, it was Brandon. Tactical backpack everywhere he went, constant stories about his unit, casual lines like, back in survival training we learned. The man made it sound like he could wrestle a bear with one hand while building a log cabin with the other. So when we finally planned a weekend camping trip, everyone looked at Brandon like he was our fearless leader. He volunteered to handle all the planning, and honestly, we were relieved. The guy seemed born for it. That illusion shattered before we even left the parking lot. Brandon pulled out what he proudly called a topographical military map to navigate our trail. It was, very clearly, a mall directory. I'm talking Macy's, food court, escalators, all right there in glossy print. He told us those were landmark codes that civilians wouldn't understand and kept rotating the thing in his hands like he was deciphering the Da Vinci Code. We spent 3 hours walking in circles while Brandon muttered about magnetic declination and squinted at the JCPenney logo. Then came the fire. We gathered dry kindling, but Brandon waved us off. I'll demonstrate proper primitive technique, he announced, puffing out his chest. The man spent the next 3 hours furiously rubbing 2 soaked sticks together, narrating every blister he earned as proof of military grit. When nothing happened, he doubled down. Moisture-rich wood burns hotter. They teach you that in the field. The only thing burning was his dignity. But the water purification incident was pure art. We found a stream, and Brandon declared he'd show us field hydration protocol. Instead of boiling or using the tablets we'd packed, he pulled out a full bottle of dish soap, started squirting it into our water bottles while lecturing us about molecular breakdown of harmful bacteria. When someone pointed out that drinking soap might not be ideal, he got defensive. You clearly don't understand advanced survival chemistry, he snapped, like he was Bear Grylls teaching at Harvard. Dinner was when the facade finally collapsed. We had a can of beans, no can opener. Brandon attacked it with sticks, a tent stake, and eventually just his teeth. After 20 minutes, he walked away to make what he thought was a private phone call. I was close enough to hear, "Mom, how do you open a can without a can opener?" Her voice came through clear as day. "Try a rock, honey. Didn't they teach you anything at that boot camp?" And then Brandon whispering, "It was 2 weeks, Mom. We mostly did jumping jacks in a parking lot." That's when it all clicked. Later, while he attempted to build a military-grade shelter that collapsed 4 times in a row, I peeked at his phone. His search history was legendary. How to start fire with wet sticks, is soap safe to drink, military survival tips for beginners. And his YouTube? Every episode of a kid's cartoon called Wilderness Warriors, starring a talking bear that gave survival lessons to 8-year-olds. This man wasn't trained by the military. He was trained by Saturday morning cartoons. I took over and got us set up properly, while Brandon paced around saying, "Failure builds character. This is all part of the authentic experience." The next morning, while packing up, he finally admitted the truth. His unit was actually a weight loss boot camp behind a strip mall, and most of his survival knowledge came from that talking bear. He said it casually, like it explained everything. Now he still brags about his wilderness expertise, still carries that tactical backpack everywhere, but all I hear is the bear's voice in my head, shaking his cartoon head in disappointment.